You're Near the Wild with Matt Becker and John Norris, recorded in Anchorage, Alaska.
Hello?
Matt Becker.
That is correct, sir.
Yeah.
I see John.
Hello?
Here's John.
It is John.
Ha ha.
So are we gonna go right into talking about beer?
Should we?
I don't know,
think
man.
I'm ready.
excited.
I'm not excited, but I'll be there.
I'm kind of excited because I bottle tomorrow. So
What are you bottling?
I'm bottling my summer wheat.
Summer wheat. Now, did
Summer
you
wheat.
have to do the same process that John did, where you had to
Except for dropping on the floor. Yeah.
yeah, except for dropping on the floor, but where you had all of the grain and the hops and the barley, and you had to boil that down and then filter it.
Yeah, I didn't have as many hops, I don't think, or
Yeah.
something.
How many hops did you get? Like a little packet of hops? Like little.
Yeah,
like,
I got a packet, but it's kind of like Raisin Bran. I don't think I got as many raisins as you did.
Yeah, I don't know.
2 scoops, brother.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm Greg, with yours, since you just have the malt extract, do you have to like do the boil stage where you like have to throw hops in at certain times?
Nope.
I don't know.
Literally, it takes me from pulling out the boiling pan that the pot that I boil the water in. It takes me about 30 minutes to complete a brewing process, because you just bring the water. You bring 4 cups of water up to boil, then pull it off the burner, and then put the hopped malted extract into the water. Mix it. Put that into the water that's already in the jug. Fill it up the rest of the way. Done. Add the yeast, and then I'm done. There's a little stirring involved, but other than
We had
that,
a few more steps.
yeah.
I don't know if that's for better or worse. We'll see.
We'll see.
I don't
Yeah,
have high hopes for my beer, though. I'm not.
You sound kind of iffy on if it's safe.
Yeah. It's so I bottled it, and when I bought it, I don't know if it was. I guess it kind of smelled like beer, but it kind of just smelled like it did before too. So I don't know.
Well, when you're going from the after you've brewed it, and then the yeast, and that whole process is taking place, that's about 2 weeks. When you're bottling it, it should taste like really flat beer. It should and if it has a flat, almost a green apple smell to it, then you're still good. If it's sweet, then you're supposed to let it go a little bit longer.
No, it tastes like really fucking gross beer. Does that count?
That's good. There you go. You're on your way.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I think I spent a good chunk of my life making dirty water. I think that's what I just did.
Well, aren't we all? Isn't that what we do on this big blue marble?
Sure.
Tread water, make dirty water.
Yeah.
So Becker, what kind of bottles are you going to use?
I'm going with I'm recapping amber bottles.
Okay, just some regular 12-ounce bottles.
Yeah, and then I'm just crazy gluing the tops on.
So I was lazy, and I had these swing top bottles.
That's
so
like the ones I was talking about before, like the Grolsch comes in a swing top. It's got a little porcelain stopper and a red seal, or a red rubber seal that clamps down.
Yeah, I know we talked about last time how you're not supposed to use growlers, like the big jugs.
Yeah,
but I used one anyway. So
yeah, give it a shot. I had a growler here, and that someone had brought over for a party or something. So it came from a local brewery, and I'm thinking, what? This thing is pretty thick, man. I mean, there's a lot of glass. It's not a thin, plasticky kind of,
Sure.
What?
So I mean, I guess there's the off chance that I pick it up and the thing blows up in my hand. It's sending shards of glass at my face. But you know what? That seems pretty unlikely.
That's the life of a brewer.
What was their rule? I don't understand. Was there a rule on special bottles? I didn't.
No, but a homebrewer friend of mine, I asked him this question, and he said that the glass on like 12-ounce and 22-ounce glass bottles is thicker, so it can handle the pressure of the beer fermenting inside the bottle better than a growler can, because growlers, a lot of them have thinner glass.
I'm using Patron bottles.
There you go. I'm using all those old glass buoys that wash up on the beach.
Just tap a hole and then cork it.
Yep.
So you do need to I like the swing top closures on top because it's reusable. but I haven't used any of those because the bottles that I get are the PBA free or whatever that shit is on a plastic bottle. But it's got a screw top, and the screw top is universal. So if you lose one, you could just take a top off like a Pepsi can or something, or a bottle. You could do these in Coke bottles. Plastic Coke bottles, because that plastic will enable the carbonation to not be affected by like the glass would break if it got too much pressure in there.
Yeah, I need to get some soda bottles.
You could do that. The only downside is you have to drink a bunch of soda.
I don't drink soda though.
Yeah.
My dog will drink it.
Your dog drinks soda?
John, just do like I did. Go through the recycling bins on like Tuesday. They're in front of people's houses. Just pick what you need.
Yeah, it's a shop. It's like a garage sale, but everything's free.
That's true. I don't know what happened. What if somebody gets mad at me for like taking their trash? I don't know what to do at that point, because I don't know. Like,
Bring a gun. Bring a gun.
Bring a gun.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited. My beer is about. I think I bottled last Wednesday or Thursday. I think it was Thursday night. So it's going to be exciting. I want to go. I need to make another batch because I don't feel very good about this one. Like I did a lot of things wrong, and I've learned from this experience. So.
Well, I will send you a picture of the not a funnel. It's a sieve, but it's the kind of sieve that I think you need for your process. I bought it out here for like $3 at a thrift store. It's perfect for I would imagine the amount of grain and hops that you have to filter out. It's like a big cone, and it's a sieve, but it's a cone rather than like a regular colander like you'd put spaghetti in. Right. I think that's what you need because correct me if I'm wrong, because your process is different. Don't you have to take the grain out and pour it into like a colander or some kind of a way to filter it, and then you pour the liquid back over it a couple times, right?
Yeah, and I've got a mesh like what you're talking about, but it was too small, so like grain was falling all over the place.
Yeah, I'll send you a picture of this one, and this is the one you need to get.
All right.
I'm doing the apple cider from here on out. I might do rhubarb cider too.
Ooh, rhubarb apple cider.
What does rhubarb taste like? I've had rhubarb pie, but I just taste the strawberries.
It's tart.
It's super
really tart,
really sour.
And that's the cider you want to make?
Make it really tart cider.
Sour Patch Kid cider.
Yeah, you can't even drink the whole thing. You're like, ugh. I just went on selling one to everybody.
You throw it away, but then curiously you're thirsty again for it later in a half hour.
I'm going to put a label on the front, on the bottom. It's going to say, drive, but don't drink.
Did you get the stuff for the cider already?
No, you just need brewer's yeast.
Oh, so you just get brewer's yeast and throw it in some fucking Welch's apple juice?
Well, I don't know if I go with the name brand, but yeah.
Go name brand. Don't sell yourself short.
Go with the cheapest stuff they got.
So you're a small craft cidery. You should use the best apple juice you can get from the store.
I'm doing 3-ounce bottles. But we're gonna puff up the packaging so it looks like a 6-pack.
3-ounce bottles. Like, that way you can get it on the you can get that on the plane.
You know those little Russian nesting things? I'm going to make it like that. So you take the bottle out and then it comes apart and then there's another one and another one and another one and another one. Finally get a 2-ounce bottle of cider.
Just a little eyedropper. I like that.
Mm-hmm. So this is the week, guys. My tooth gets installed on Thursday.
Ooh. Are you excited to be chewing with full power again?
Well, I guess it's one of those things where it's been so long now. It's been almost a year that I don't even know. It seems like if they asked me today if I would want a tooth, I'd say no. It's a big deal.
It's not like a visible tooth, is it?
No, it's one back behind the canine.
Huh. I mean,
It's not in what they call the aesthetic zone. So you'd have to kind of be standing on my side looking at me to see it when I smiled. But it is. My whole idea was to get it done. Back then, I had no idea it was going to take this long, and I'm no quitter.
I think you're going to be happy once it's in.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll be able to, spit with full force again,
and eat corn on the cob and not leave that weird trail.
that one line of kernels all the way around.
One kernel. Hey, what's that deal?
So that's my week is getting ready for that.
Wow.
What do they do? Did they just drill that into your skull?
No, they did that months ago.
Oh, they drilled they put the base and now they just have to
It's a titanium post that was basically it was they did a little they take a little tap like a way to set a finishing nail below the surface so you can putty over it. They take one of those and just do a little just tap it in and that's where the drill presses against because they don't want it jumping around. And then they make a little pilot hole and then screw that thing in there and then I go home and dribble all over myself for the next 2 hours.
Oh, you just described a scene from the Hostel movies or something. It sounds like poetry.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty mechanical when he's doing it. I'm trying not to think about it, but
how long have you had to wait between waiting to get it put in?
Well, I find out you could get a tooth. The whole procedure done within a month, the span of a month, depending on who's doing it and how much time you want to wait, and if it's if it's a top tooth, you've got areas up there with different density of bone. But if it's in the lower jaw, it's really thick bone, so lower jaw replacements can go quicker. But my whole thing was look, I'm not trying to set a world record here. I'm fine with taking my time here, letting everything heal and making sure everything's okay to the next step.
I'm just curious because we're in a country. Do you realize it took longer to get a tooth replaced than it takes to get a handgun?
Yeah, but if you go to Los Angeles, they'll replace your jaw in an afternoon. It's
Sure.
fucking insane.
Get a new face in a week.
The billboard. I mean, everything is geared towards the population base is so big in Los Angeles that you've got all these people vying for this. There's dentists everywhere. I don't know if I'm just more sensitive to it now, but I see implants more than gas stations. I see everywhere you go. There's someone who's willing to put a fake tooth in your head.
I guess every time your tongue goes in that open spot, you probably see one.
I had a friend who I probably told you this already. He had one of his teeth knocked out, and it was in the aesthetic zone. It was his one of his front teeth, and he got what you are currently in the process of getting done, an implant. And he rushed it though to get it because he felt like a redneck dating his cousin, and so he got it rushed and did it in a month or so, and then a couple weeks after it was in, he got really sick and it got infected.
Yeah.
So I think take some time, decide if you really want that tooth.
Well, actually, he was washing his mouth out with homemade beer, so that might have been where the infection came from.
Infection entered. You have a yeast infection of the brain. It went in through your tooth hole.
We believe you didn't boil your hops enough.
I used my dustpan as a funnel. I don't know if that was a problem.
Oh man!
Well, I have an eye infection right now. I don't think it's related to my beer.
Like pink eye?
No, not pink eye. It's just a sty or something.
Just a white zit thing.
So it's not your eye; it's on your eyelid.
It's my eyelid, so just it looks like I got punched in the eye.
Yeah.
Do you need an eye patch? I have an eye patch.
Is it clean?
Of course not. It's an eye patch. Yeah, that's. I believe that's the sty can. I believe it's just a dirty hair follicle.
Yeah, it's like a clogged tear duct or something.
Well,
there's a bunch of different reasons.
A tear duct is different than a follicle.
Well, I read a lot of WebMD about it. I'm a little bit of an expert.
Are you doing hot compresses?
Yep.
Yeah,
there's nothing else you can do. There is a medicine, but it's homeopathic medicine.
Yeah, but now you're putting oil, like an oily ointment, on your eye.
My already greasy eyelid.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. My grandma used to say you get a sty in your eye from watching a dog poop. So I don't know.
I think she's going back to pink eye on that.
I feel like I'd have a lot more if that was the case.
Yeah, when the Bretzels were staying here in Black Knob, Brett Erickson got a sty on one of his eyes, and his girlfriend Carrie, who before this I felt was a bit of an authority on animal care. She said that you get a sty from a dog's ass on your pillow. And I thought that's pretty specific.
No, actually, that's pink eye. You get
just
pink.
A dog.
But a dog's
fecal matter causes pink eye.
Okay, a dog's ass on your pillow. I thought is very specific and it didn't seem very medical.
How about a cat?
It seemed more like or a gorilla, or anything.
A cheetah.
But a dog's ass on your pillow will result in a sty.
Because some breeds would be more likely than others. Small dogs with outies instead of innies.
And is it the whole pillow is affected, or just the side that the dog is rubbing its ass against?
Well, my dog does the sit and drag across my pillow every morning. I don't know if that's a.
We talked about that, John. You need to express those anal glands. I'm sure there's a YouTube link. There's plenty of people out there willing to help.
I don't want my relationship to change with my dog, because it seems like it'll just be that one-time thing, but then it's never the same,
Put a blindfold.
Tell your dog to express himself.
Put a blindfold on the dog. He'll never know who did it.
That's really some eyes wide shut.
Yeah.
I'll be your Nicole Kidman. You be my Tom Cruise.
Well, it would be weird for both of you. But if the blindfold's on, then you both can just whistle through the graveyard. And nothing happened. What?
Whistle through the graveyard. That's great.
So I saw on the ADN website today, the Anchorage Dispatch News, that you've got a international world-class rock and roll outfit coming up to Anchorage.
Motley Crue?
Yeah.
Yep. The Crew, the last gas tour. Oh, wait, that's already taken.
Is their final tour, but it's 2 years long, right?
Well, the cycle is 2 years, but that's everything. I think they're on it right now.
Yeah, they end on New Year's Eve.
But I thought it was very interesting that they signed a cessation of tour agreement, meaning that after this tour, they're calling it the final tour, it will be illegal for them to reform as not illegal. They've made a contract that says they will not reform after this tour's over.
It's kind of like the Pacquiao fight.
Was that by popular demand? You were like, all right, you can do this last tour as long as you promise to never do it again.
No, they just, hair extensions have been killing them for years, so they just need to put an end.
I can't believe Mick Mars is still standing. If there's proof of us being able to really make a convincing robot, it would be that Mick Mars was replaced years ago. The guitarist for Motley Crue weighs about a 120, and he doesn't even look like he looks like he's dead. Maybe that's the effect. I don't know.
Do you guys want to see a bunch of zombies play some songs from the 80s?
That's what's amazing. What if he dies in your town? Everyone's doing it going, what if he dies in our town?
Like the chicken drop.
Yeah. It's like side bets.
Oh, I did come across a slideshow recently. Maybe it was underneath the Motley Crue story that was like 12 celebrities who died on stage. Maybe they're trying to get on that slideshow.
There were like 3 comedians, weren't they? I read that. There were like 3 comedians that dropped. And one of them, what was he? He was like a 60 guy, but he did a whole thing about the government or something, and about how I'm just going to lay down and let the government just take what they want. And he collapsed right after doing the joke. So he sat there for 5 minutes. Nobody did anything.
That's commitment. That's committing to the joke.
No, that's impeccable timing till the end.
That's when an audience knew how to behave.
Nobody said
wait for it. Oh, and Wallenda. You see, Wallenda's going to do a new thing now after his low ratings.
The family that famous for walking tight.
The chicken drop. Yeah.
They've been featured on Near the Wild before. We've talked about them.
But remember his last ratings were so low on his last one. They were like, what happened? So now he's going to apparently do 2 Ferris wheels. It's going to be a rope between 2 Ferris wheels, and it's going to get slack and then tight again and slack and tight until, I don't know, it breaks.
First of all, that's not the dumbest thing here. The dumbest thing is, who puts fucking 2 Ferris wheels next to each other? That's ridiculous.
Las Vegas?
Well, you want to get a great view of the other Ferris wheel.
The other Ferris wheel. Why in the fuck would there be 2 Ferris wheels next to each other? Ferris wheels do the same thing.
Yeah, but not at the same time. You could run off one motor. Do you realize that? The other one's free. Buy one, get one free. One motor runs both Ferris wheels.
So how is he where are you going to tie the rope to? I mean,
I don't know. They just vaguely threw it out there. Like, in other words, I'm going to do another one because they're trying to probably get funding.
He just wants to see what idea sticks. Like, what do you guys think about the Grand Canyon again? Part 2.
But this tells you about our current culture. He does the one, he gets good ratings for whatever he was on Discovery or whatever. And then the second one, dismal ratings, just horrendous. And now he's going to do his third, and he's going to do it. But the ADD is so bad in the car. They go, he didn't fall. I'm not falling for that again.
Yeah, this is opening Al Capone's vault over and over again.
Yeah, but that's how short they are. They go, he can do it. I didn't know he could do it. Okay, I'm good.
This is once again, we go back to something that is allowed that no one wants to watch, tightrope walking, and yet freaks are not allowed to be on display in a freak show type carnival sideshow environment.
But it's even a different example of the fact that, remember, it's the old joke with comedians versus singers. You sing your number one hit for the next 30 years. Yeah. You have to come up with a new joke as soon as you're done telling your other one. And this is the same way. A guy can loop techno music for next 30 years where Willenda's working right now.
What was that, John?
I mean, not if you're Jeff Foxworthy. Then you can keep doing the same trick for a long time. What he should do is he should have to wear a suit made of, like, rotting fish, and then they release a bunch of, like, eagles and falcons to swoop down at him as he's walking across the rope. Because I want to see, like... We only watch tightrope walkers to see them fall. He gets across and everyone's just like, oh, well, okay, what else is on? No,
that's what I'm saying. It's because now the young people went, he's good. I didn't know he could do it. Okay, so now they're done because he's too good. They go, he'll do it.
Yeah, I guess he's got to throw something else in there, like maybe sit on a chair on top of a flagpole or hang from the hour hand.
Or maybe have a sty.
You should try having a 2 days. It's awful.
Thread a needle with the sty.
Have either of you read the story about, like, the greatest juggler in the world?
There is one.
Was that on Vice?
There is. I think it was like a Grantland story or something.
Yeah, I was amazed with that.
He worked for Cirque du Soleil, and because he's just had all these YouTube videos, and he was clearly, like, an incredible juggler. But then he just quit because he realized that he can make more money as, like, a concrete, like, contractor.
And he is hands down the best juggler in the world.
But, like, why? Why is he the best?
I think he juggles like 12 balls at one time.
Set all sorts of world records for the amount of balls juggled for the amount of time, and so. He just got sick of, like, everybody just trying to break his records all the time on YouTube, because he says, like, anybody can break a record when they try it, like, 56 times in a row.
Yeah.
Are
you talking about this guy Anthony Gatto?
Yeah.
Okay. And it seems that it's more of a gamble to be in the construction business right now than to be juggling.
Yeah. Well, could you imagine if he gets overwhelmed with 3 jobs at once? Dude, you said you were a good juggler.
All right. Well, good. I'm glad I contributed with an article I read 2 years ago and don't really remember. All right.
Yeah, I think we talked about before. That was a beauty. But yeah, I think we did because
that's why
it came back to me. Because it was amazing. Because the guy goes, "I just quit. Quit. You're the best in the world. It doesn't matter. I quit.
We got to walk away. You got to. I mean, he's not going to stay at the top the whole time. I get that part of it.
Oh, but you're going. Why can't he find a niche? I mean, why does the greatest juggler have to go to concrete and go? Well, thanks, people. I appreciate it.
Maybe it was because he got into the Cirque du Soleil, and that's kind of like the. I think that's probably the pinnacle of being on the road circus style. Having one of those, like, I mean, the people came to them. They didn't have to actually go out on the road. I know there's a couple of traveling troops of Cirque du Soleil's.
Yeah, I mean, you're not filling in at Renaissance festivals.
No, that's what I mean. But maybe that was it. Maybe it's like, you know what, this is a pretty good gig, and when this runs over, maybe it's time to start a fucking concreting pools or whatever the fuck he's getting into.
Maybe he should have picked something with less of a ceiling.
Yeah, no, I mean, I could see if he was a stilt walker, he went into house painting or something. I go, I get it. That's a good transfer, but I don't get the juggling in concrete.
Yeah, juggling? What could he do?
Yeah, well, obviously not drop anything in concrete.
Yeah, maybe working in produce. I don't know.
Yeah, see, produce, he'd be your guy.
Yeah.
So there's another big story from Alaska. There's a lot of stuff going on, actually. We got the Motley Crue, and then we got they're threatening us now because a new TV show called Anchorage might not be filmed in Alaska.
I read it definitely won't be filmed in Alaska.
But did you see what the show's about?
Yeah, it's about two cops in Anchorage.
Yeah, and it's a scripted show, but it's not a reality show, but it's going to look like one.
Like Lizard,
so it's
like
one of those
towing
fake
or something?
ones. Yeah, exactly. And they're going to make up the stories and say, oh, yeah, Anchorage, the most deadly city in America. And they're going to film it somewhere else.
Good, that's what
I think we need to maybe incorporate the name Anchorage and sue you if you use it.
What? They've done that before.
But are they
What, said
about
Anchorage was deadly?
I think they're talking about Anchorage, Kentucky. They surely cannot be talking about our peaceful little haven.
Well, you guys did have a spat of shootings and murders in the
first... which has continued.
Yeah.
Well, not at the rate it was. I will say that.
Yeah,
My basically calmed down.
It's gotten nicer out, and people have slowed down with the gunplay.
But as I'm livid about the fact that they're saying they're going to film a show about how dangerous Anchorage is, which would be great for tourism. I mean, especially if it's not filmed here. But to top it off, then underneath that story, there was one. A Nikiski woman faces attempted murder charges after firing several shots at passing cars she felt were driving recklessly.
I love that story. I love that she's so concerned that these cars driving recklessly are going to hurt somebody that she's shooting guns at them.
And you have a problem with them calling it Anchorage the world's deadliest city?
Well, no, she didn't hit anybody.
Those were warning shots, Greg.
All right. Well, I mean, I guess I just don't understand.
Also, that was outside of city limits, so...
Yeah, and that's the thing. If you go by in Anchorage, we don't have too much, really.
Really?
Well, hey, I got a question, though. Considering the production is being... they're going to do production of a show called Anchorage outside of Anchorage. They're going to do it somewhere in the lower 48 or maybe Canada. Does it have anything to do with that removing of the tax incentive or the tax credits?
Yeah, that's why they're claiming. They go, we want you to pay us to besmirch your city.
Well, and then
I say we immediately sue them for using the name Anchorage.
But see, my point being is like they probably would have filmed it up there had...
Wait, why would we want you to film a show saying we're the deadliest city in the nation? That's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life.
But they film Law and Order in New York, and that's still a popular city, right? I mean, everybody knows New York is full of like sex rings and human trafficking and dead bodies in dumpsters.
But I expect that when I go to New York.
Maybe
I would feel ripped off if they didn't have it.
Anchorage needs to be more like New York. Well, I mean, we have the bums sleeping everywhere, but we could be more like New York.
You know what I figured out about crime? Here's the deal. Because Chris Rock came out yesterday and he said, white kids aren't getting shot. And you know what I figured out? I figured out most urban city kids, the most expensive thing they own are tennis shoes. $400 for these tennis shoes. And the problem with it is when they get arrested, you don't get to keep your shoes when you go to jail. So they take your shoes. So what these kids are running from is the fact, I'm going to use these one last time. And they just take off and they get shot. And then the riot that happens afterwards, it always starts with the immediate family. And it doesn't start because of injustice or racial profiling or that. They're fighting over those fucking shoes. Who's going to get them? He didn't leave a will.
Have you seen those new shoes?
How about those new shoes?
Have you seen the LeBron James shoes?
No, I'd love to hear. What city can you get him in now?
I don't know.
Because he moves around a lot.
Yeah. They're they look like a Pollock painting.
Oh, they're awesome.
And they're mismatched. The left shoe does not look like the right shoe on purpose, and they're $500 a pair.
That's great.
$500 a pair. Where?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What? At Dick's Sporting Goods?
I doubt if they even have. They probably can't keep them on the shelves.
No, they keep them behind a box because they steal them.
Under glass.
You know, if you steal them, you think you got two of the wrong shoes. If you get home, you're like, what the fuck? I grabbed the wrong one.
You guys got a Foot Locker out there, right?
We got a Foot Locker. We got a.
There's one in Fairbanks, I guess.
What are you talking about? We got a Foot Locker.
We don't have a Foot Locker in Anchorage. We don't have a Foot Locker.
Yeah, we do in the Sears Mall.
Nope.
Yep.
Nope.
Yep.
That's a popcorn
I
hut
believe so.
now.
That's a
It's a popcorn hut. When's the last time you went there, John?
I was there, a month ago.
A month ago. Do you see
Things
the new? The new rack from Nordstrom's?
I saw some construction going on.
Yeah, they took me on a tour through the new store. It's nice.
Why were you a VIP?
I'm not going to go into it right now, but it's a big deal. Somebody might be running the espresso stand in there.
There you go. So just so our listeners who are not familiar with Anchorage, we do have malls up there. There's a Nordstrom's that's been up there for eons.
Very popular.
Yeah, there's actual buildings of brick.
Mostly brick.
I mean, you guys, you did see in the paper that this is the first time in many years that Anchorage has a dip in population.
Yes, and I've been screaming for a year. I go, we're in one of the worst recessions I've ever seen up here, and no one's listening. No one says a word, and then I go, oh, look there. And while it's only a down of 61 people, it's the first dip since the 80s when we were in a huge recession.
Yeah, that was the last one.
And it amazes me because people are going, I don't see anything. You don't see anything? Really? You haven't noticed?
Well, I mean, people are still coming to Alaska. It's a very transient state to
immigrants.
begin with, but
A lot of immigrants.
More people are leaving.
I think the valley is still growing though, slower, but it's still growing. There's still growth.
Speaking of growth, you've got the Northwest Cannabis Classic coming up this weekend.
I know.
The 16th and 17th at the Denina Center. John, are you covering that for anything at one of your news freelance jobs?
I should be.
It seems like it would be very topical this year because who knows what's going to happen. I mean, you guys everything isn't in place yet for the recreational. You can possess up to an ounce, but who knows what's going to happen. It seems like everyone would be kind of sketchy hanging out in the vape area,
This almost goes back to the remember when they wanted to legalize weed and you'd be in front of Fred Meyers and they go, hey, you want to sign a thing, legalize weed? You go, no way, cop.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this could be one of those big stings where everyone's like is called up in advance and say, hey, you want a microwave? Come on down to the Denina Center and collect your boat or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, through that door. That's the annexed vape area. Everything's legal out there because this is a private event held in a public place. No, go on. Free lighters. Come on out there.
Free lighters for your vapes.
And then a big cage drops.
So I'm on the ADN's weed section, Cannabis North, which is, I don't understand why everything has to be like completely emblazoned with pot leaves. This is like one of the things that really annoys me about pot culture is that like everybody is always showing off that they smoke weed with their like pot leaf shirts and hats and stuff, but you don't see people who smoke cigarettes like walking around with like tobacco plants on their hats.
No, they made that illegal.
They banned it, John.
They
banned it. Remember?
Joe Camel was all over the place in the 80s.
Yeah, you didn't grow up with Marlboro Miles, my friend. I had a Marlboro Miles pool table.
Tote bags and thermoses.
All right, fair enough.
But yeah, now cannabis is somehow the new tobacco.
Well, it's $35 a pop to get in a day.
Yeah. You know how much weed you could buy with that?
Exactly. That's I feel like I could just stay home for that price.
Well,
yeah, it's kind of hard to get weed people to all show up.
Well, we'll see. There's a competition going on. I think that's one way to snag people in there.
Is it like so people are bringing weed that they grew?
Yeah, they're asking you. It's 21 and over, but you have to bring. You can only bring up to an ounce because that's the law. You can't have more than an ounce on you.
This feels like it's definitely a sting.
Totally, right?
They're like, "Oh, you won. We'd like to take a tour of your facility."
No, but the other thing, they got a rigged scale. Excuse me, sir, I need to weigh that. Oop, you're over an ounce.
0.1.
He's dropping pool balls in your bag.
We're just going to load our judges into this SWAT van. We'll take it right over to your place.
It is interesting. Go ahead.
Oh, the big breakthrough on the weed. There's two guys. I don't know what to say where they're from. Maybe MIT. I don't know. Some one of those. But they came up with a saliva test for marijuana that works with your phone and can give you results in 4 minutes if you're intoxicated.
A saliva test.
You have to lick your phone?
No, they just take a swab and then they put it through the app, and then the app tells the cop, "Ooh, you're over."
But that's like the worst place to try and get a test, a sample.
Why?
Well, because you could have
Does it cottonmouth?
It could be
Does
just
it cottonmouth?
it could be just in your mouth. If you just drank alcohol, then there's going to be a lot more residual alcohol in your mouth.
Well, what I'm trying to tell you, Greg, is we need a set way to give you a DUI. And this sounds like the easiest one.
You'd probably just give everyone who turns 21 a DUI.
No, that's what they plan on. And the first thing they're going to say is, oh, and one part of your probation is you can't smoke weed.
Yeah.
They should just give it as soon as you turn 21, just give everybody 2 DUIs automatically, and just say, hey, one more, and you're going to jail.
Strike and you're out. Yeah. Well, it would take away that stigma.
There you go.
Well, I don't know if you guys are excited about this, but I certainly am. Mad Max Fury Road.
I want to go get in line right now.
I'm dressing up.
What are you dressing up as, Becker?
Clearly, one of the mad characters. I got nylons and goggles.
Well, we talked about the original Mad Max because it has been showing up on some of the premium channels that we get here on cable and like AMC or something like that. It's been on a couple times. That's such a good one, and I just it's just so basic, you know. It didn't have all the stuff with the high budget that they got in the subsequent years. But
it's kind of too basic. It's kind of too basic for me, Greg.
No,
I need Tina Turner.
No, that was horrible. But the guy who was the leader of the pack in the first one, who was when they went to that town to pick up Knight Rider, the lead guy who ends up getting smashed by a semi truck at the end.
That was actually Garth Brooks.
Yeah, he's actually making a cameo in the new movie. 36 years later. That guy was creepy. Had that shock of white hair with the big bushy brown hair.
I wonder if he still has the same phone number. Anybody know how to get hold of this guy?
Is Tina Turner going to make a cameo? That would be cool.
I don't know anything else about the movie other than my jaw drops when I see the trailers. But
yeah, the trailer is amazing. Like the trailer alone should get an Oscar.
It's pretty awesome. And I mean, I don't even prefer to watch movies at a theater. I mean, there's no point to. It's like going to see a football game to me. I'd rather just watch it at home.
The last movie I went to in a theater was Crouching Dragon.
Really?
Yep.
That was like 1998.
Hey, yeah, so be it.
Wow, you're coming up on your 20-year anniversary.
You want to know the funniest thing ever? So this is the only movie I've gone to in like years. So I go, okay, I'll go. So I went there. I sat down. I went in the middle of the day. I thought this will be safe. A family with like 5 kids come wandering in an empty theater. The classic. They sit right in front of me. I go, are you fucking kidding me? And the movie starts, and I'm about ready to just lose my mind. And the subtitles came on, and the lady behind me said, I didn't pay $7 to have to read a goddamn movie. And they all got up and left.
Perfect.
That was fucking great.
I thought this was going to have a bad ending. This had a happy ending.
That was great. They walked out. I'm like, you can't believe it. Then I watched the movie. It was fantastic.
Well, I think this is a good one. Mad Max Fury Road.
I mean, I love going to the movies. It's one of my favorite things. I like seeing movies with like a bunch of people, especially like, you know, when it's opening weekend of like a big movie, just because the energy is high and like people are excited, and then maybe it's a bad movie and everyone's kind of disappointed at the end. But I like it. I like the experience of it. And when I watch stuff at home, I can like watch movies at home, but I always like end up like thinking about other stuff or like falling asleep. So
perfect.
I like the experience. I'm a fan of going out and being with people to enjoy entertainment.
I can't stand people in organized
overrated.
settings like that.
Overrated.
Yeah, that's fine.
No, they're horrible.
I can't remember, and Becker, maybe you've had a different experience, but I don't go to the movies a lot, but I can't remember the last time I was in a movie theater where there were more than like 15 people. Because I don't go to first run movies like the first weekend something comes out. Like even this one, I can't wait to see Mad Max, but I probably won't see it this weekend. But anytime I go to a movie theater, there's a handful of people in there.
Yeah,
man, you miss the Avengers opening weekend. You didn't want to wait in line for 2 hours.
No. There's no reason to wait in line for any movie.
No, and they come out so quick now. It's like, forget it. They're talking about doing a thing where you're going to be able to pay the ticket price and watch it at home.
Oh, you can already do that if you're rich.
Like
I
The
think-
Interview.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can also just bootleg the movie too. That's free.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened, but this weekend I sat on the couch, and this was a movie that I thought I would never watch 2 minutes of, let alone the whole thing, and think it was funny. Was the movie This Is the End? The Seth Rogen.
Oh yeah, This Is the End is really good.
I had no desire to see it. Tracy was watching it, and I caught it like right at the beginning. I'm going, what's wrong? Is the remote broken? Why is it stuck on this? And I sat there and watched the whole thing. I fucking loved it.
See?
Did you watch The Interview?
Yes, I did.
It's way better. Like This Is the End is way better.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I think it was also successful, so it's not like we don't have to convince people that they should watch it, but it's good. It's funny.
Well, they got me sideways on it because I never would have sat down to watch it. In fact, I thought it was at first when it came up as This Is the End on the guide. I thought it was a Simon Pegg movie, the third in the trilogy that he was doing.
Oh, I don't even remember what that movie's called.
But you know what I mean. It was one of those things where I'm
The
like,
world-
I might watch this. Simon Pegg, I like Simon Pegg, and I hit the guide, and I'm like, wait a minute, this Simon Pegg's not in here at all. How is he not credited? And then I
The
saw
World's
it.
End is a better movie. You should watch that one too.
Is that the one with Simon Pegg?
Yeah.
All right, yeah. Well, I think I just need movies that say the end in them.
Yep.
Because
The
Remember, what was the Burt Reynolds one?
Smoking the Bandit?
No, there's a Burt Reynolds one where, remember, he's going to die?
Cannonball Run.
No, he's going to die. What was that? That was a great movie. Remember, he swims out in the ocean, he wants to drown, and then at the very end, it's like right before the credits roll, he goes, I take it back, God, I want to live. I want to live. He swims, he tries to make it back, he makes it back to the beach.
About.
Sharky's Machine?
No.
No.
I think it was called The End.
Gator?
No, The End.
That's a good one.
Stroker Ace. That sounds like a dildo.
Nothing, John?
No, I don't.
Wow.
Cobb and a half?
Yeah, it's a movie called The End.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Burt
It's called The
Reynolds.
End. Dom
1978.
Yeah, him and Dom DeLuise were kind of a thing. That the two of them were in movies a lot together.
Sally Fields was in it, too.
A bit of a hot couple.
Yeah, Sally
DeLuise.
Field is
Directed by Burt Reynolds.
Sally Field to Burt Reynolds is Sandra Locke to Clint Eastwood in a lot of those movies. They always seem to be in the there was a pairing there where I don't know if they were writing for him or there was kind of a thing where they drug each other into him.
Yeah, definitely watch The End with Burt Reynolds, 1978.
Somebody just posted a picture of Burt Reynolds like next to the picture of the guy from Weekend at Bernie's. Like Burt Reynolds now, they look like Burt Reynolds needs to be in the remake of Weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah, if they tinted his glasses more.
Yeah.
If you give total blackout shades, then yeah, that would it's a sad picture.
Nick Nolte, what happened to him?
I don't know. Did he die? I'm guessing he died.
No, he didn't die.
Take bets.
He just stopped driving.
Burt Reynolds was the shit though. I remember in the 70s when those movies came out, man. He was it. And the closest you can get to capturing that now is when Norm Macdonald does him. Because it's now, I mean, Burt Reynolds is walking around with a cane and selling stuff at a garage sale and stuff like that. It's kind of sad.
I found Nick Nolte. He looks like he spent the last 10 years getting stung in the face by bees. That's where he's been.
Yeah. Nothing will ever beat that Malibu drunk driving one where his hair's all fucked up. He's wearing a Hawaiian shirt. He's like, ah!
Well, that reminds
Great.
me. Let me read our sponsor. Our sponsor today, Nick Nolte Bee Removal out of Malibu. Don't get stung. Call Nick.
Don't be late.
Are either of you concerned that American Idol got canceled?
I didn't know it was still in the air. I thought.
I've never seen an episode.
Ever of any of them.
Nope.
Oh.
15 years I've missed out. I guess I got plenty of time to catch up on it now.
Well, it's a singing contest. I mean, what
Yeah.
else? I mean, if you got nothing to do when it's on, then you watch it. I mean,
I've heard a Kelly Clarkson song before, so I
Yeah.
guess I've seen the best of.
yeah, I guess
Yeah.
I think all those days of when you did something and then all of a sudden you became famous overnight. It's kind of like Montreal Just for Laughs when they used to have comics go up and there was a big deal. They'd get production deals or development deals. And that stopped a while ago. And now people still go up. They don't get paid. I don't even know why they go up. And the first couple of years, I think that was when, you'd get someone who would get second place and they'd still go on tour and they'd still make money. Well, like Doherty, that's that one guy. He sings that song that they play whenever they have troops coming home. I'm coming home or something. I mean, that guy, he got third or fifth or something. He didn't even, but he had material and he got an agent and he did something with it. But now I don't even know, does anyone, do they go on tour? They used to be a tour package.
Didn't Clay Aiken? Where'd Clay Aiken come from?
I think Clay Aiken lost to Ruben Studdard, didn't he?
Yes, I said confidently.
Yeah, well, but my point being is both of them became famous because of it.
Where's Ruben Studdard now?
I don't know. I think he had a
headlining the Alaska
He's
State
doing
Fair.
concrete. He realized he could make more money doing concrete than juggling.
Him and Gatto.
You know what's happening this week in Seattle?
Well,
Bumper shoot.
No, they're setting him an Arctic drilling rig in the a 400-foot Arctic drilling rig in the off the lake there in
the lake
or the ocean there.
Okay,
in
Puget
Seattle.
Sound.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right off the port of Seattle's Terminal 5, they're going to put a huge drilling rig.
And
oil? The mayor is saying, well, you don't have the right permits. And they go, sure we do. So you're going to look at the lovely setting of Seattle with the large drilling rigs in it. And They have another one coming.
That's a hard-working town.
But the best part was they said they're going to be protested by people in kayaks.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I did see that. Why?
Well, because they can't use anything with the motor.
Yeah,
then you use oil.
Human power, dude. Come on.
Why don't they get paddle boats?
Paddle boats would work, but man, you get lapped by the kayaks will get out and back. Those
Sailboat.
paddle boats, they're not built for speed, man.
Sailboats are easy to circle with.
Yeah. It
I
doesn't
just
make
thought
the
it
same
was.
statement. A sailboat or, you got to get a paddle board or one of those wakeboards. Or, no, what are the ones they stand up on now? Is it a paddle board?
Yeah.
Yeah, paddle boards.
Yeah.
What they need is windsurfers, so they could just go do some tricks and, they could protest but also entertain us at the same time.
And get the younger crowd excited about it.
Extreme.
I have an idea. Stretch a rope from the top of the rig to the port and have a guy walk across the rope.
Oh, there we go.
Well, hold on a second. I'll go one further. They just built a Ferris wheel on the wharf there. So you put it to the Ferris wheel.
Ferris wheel to the
Boom.
rig. It's going to look like a sty on Seattle.
That's TV history.
Well, you've listened to another episode of Near the Wild. I'm Matt Becker, sitting on a bus on a sunny day in Anchorage, Alaska.
I'm John Norris, sitting inside a dark room with my infected eyelid in Anchorage, Alaska.
And I'm Ggreg Chaille in Bisbee, Arizona, waiting for the beer to tap. You've been listening to the Near the Wild podcast with Matt Becker and John Norris, recorded in Anchorage, Alaska on Matt Becker's backyard bus. Engineered by me, Ggreg Chaille.
We did it.
We did it.